Happy Rising, people. Good Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. What a Super Bowl. The Chiefs did that, though. They overcame the deficit and came back. Honestly, like I was leaning towards the whole segment of Friday's episode. I didn't know who to pick. But like I said, I wanted to see overall a great Super Bowl. And I think it was a great Super Bowl. One of the best we had in a minute versus where nobody was really blown out like that in the first half. So I appreciate that. And shout out to Patrick Mahomes for doing his thing once again. Pulled off an incredible comeback. The team as a collective, they rallied as a team to come back and overcome the deficit. Niners, congrats to them on what they accomplished this far this year. Last year, if you're not too big into sports, Niners was like, I think they were like 4-12. I know they only won 4 games, so it has probably 4-12. And to come to the Super Bowl next year, that's a big accomplishment. It would have been bigger if they would have won, but that is a big accomplishment. I feel like as far as that, having a shitty year and then coming back as a rebound year, I believe we all have that. I had that myself personally, where I had a straight shitty ass year. Excuse my language, but that's the way to define it. A shitty year, and then the next year is like, it's like a year of abundance, a year of success, a year of appreciation, a year of blessings. So we all go through that trials and tribulations year, that shitty year, just to get through to the promised land. It's all a part of the journey. So embrace where you're at right now, but know where you're headed. As far as today's show, it's February 3rd, Monday. Man, I keep thinking about how fast January blew by. But February 3rd, Monday, Black History Month. We here. I'm going to be discussing the origin of Black History Month on this episode, as far as the quotes of the day and a little more of the things I learned about the Super Bowl, as well as Friday's show. Man, what a weekend, though. I had a great weekend, a blessed weekend. A shout out to my friends for the Super Bowl party, opening up the doors for us, and just having an overall great, glorious time. I worked this weekend as well, and been working on this podcast, trying to get the notes and everything together. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Monday. You already know. Back to the grind, back to the week. Like I said, for myself, it's renewal week. So getting everything together, started hitting my morning routine. So appreciate that. And appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, share the show with a friend if you feel like this helps you out or this can help a friend out. Share it with them. Or if you have any friends that's going through any hard times, trials and tribulations, and you just don't know personally how to reach them, reach out to me. I can connect them with the right people as far as I can try to assist them myself. So appreciate y'all. I'm going to give y'all a quick break, and then I'm going to hit y'all with the quotes of the day and what I learned from this Super Bowl. It's Monday, man. Money making Monday. Back to the grind. Don't give up on what you're trying to accomplish, man. You see how fast January blew by. Don't be bullshitting. Quotes of the day. First one. Man, I'm feeling good, man. It's Monday. I just feel like rejuvenated, ready to conquer this month and whatnot. But the first quote of the day is, it's our attitude towards life that determines life's attitude towards us. We give back what we put out. Meaning, let's go as far as you waking up. That waking up in the morning, that attitude in the morning that you present towards the day really defines your day going forward. So if you wake up with a negative mindset, negative attitude, then that won't help you progress towards where you're trying to be in life or what you're trying to do. So wake up in that morning with the positive attitude, the positive mindset, saying your daily affirmations, or saying positive thoughts to yourself, clearing out the negative thoughts, clearing out the negative energy, and just putting it towards a positive effect, a positive outlook, and a positive experience towards life versus waking up with a negative attitude. We all wake up with the negative or the bad attitude, and it's just like that never gets us anywhere. You feel me? If you wake up and you already waking up with negative thoughts, really analyze and see how your day goes once you start with the negative thoughts towards the end of the day. Like, evaluate how that whole day went versus you starting with positive thoughts, positivity, and you see how the day begins and how the day moves forward from there. So the quote, once again, it's our attitude towards life that determines life's attitudes towards us. We give back what we put out. The second quote is, Don't make a habit out of choosing what feels good over what's actually good for you. And that goes back towards what I was talking about, the present temptations versus the long-term goals. I'm glad I found that quote. It feels good right now, but in the long term, is it actually good for you? Me personally, when I read that quote, I instantly thought of the eating habits, the eating. For me, like I said, for me, eating the sweets, all this stuff right now, like it feels good, it tastes good right now, but in the long term, is it really helping me getting towards what I want to accomplish with my eating habits, my eating goals? No, it's not. It's just a present satisfaction outweighing the long-term goal. Always keep that long-term goal in mind, that beautiful destination, versus just choosing what feels good right now. Because what feels good right now won't probably feel good within 5 years from now, when in the long-term run. So don't make a habit out of choosing what feels good over what's actually good for you. And I really believe that. And I've been preaching that, the present temptation versus the long-term goal. So, and then the Super Bowl. What I learned from the Super Bowl, even when you're winning, never lose focus of the ultimate goal. And me watching the game yesterday, that's what I felt like the Niners did. They were so up. They was up, 10 in the fourth quarter. And they was just looking at, oh, we won, they're celebrating. But it's like, it was still like 10 minutes left in the game, and you're versus Patrick Mahomes. So it's like, never celebrate too early. Yeah, celebrate the small wins, but still stay focused on the ultimate goal. Don't celebrate until the game is over. And another thing I learned, when you're a champion at heart, you'll overcome and come back from any deficit or obstacle, keeping that burning desire, visualizing it and feeling it. That no matter what I'm going through right now, even though I'm down 10, I know I'm going to still prevail and win through this, because they're celebrating too early, and I got that heart of a champion to where I know I'm going to come back and overcome this deficit, or overcome this obstacle. And we've seen it plenty of times. If you've been watching the playoffs and watched Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, he's overcome the deficit plenty of times. So if you got that heart of a champion to where you know it's not over till it's over, that's what I watched yesterday, and that's what Patrick Mahomes did. He never gave up, never wavered. He always kept that same mentality, the same poise throughout the whole game. Like he knew we're going to win this game no matter how much we're down. We've been down 10 before. So no matter how down and out you are, always have that faith and that heart of a champion to overcome your deficit, overcome your obstacle, and really push forward to what you're trying to do. I'm going to give y'all a brief break, and I'm going to hit y'all with the origin of Black History Month. Black History Month, an annual observance originating in the United States, where it is also known as African American History Month. It's received official recognition from governments in the U.S. and Canada, and observed unofficially in Ireland, the Netherlands, and the U.K. It's celebrated in February in the U.S. and Canada, while in October it's celebrated in Ireland, the Netherlands, and the U.K. In 1926, Black History Month started in the U.S. when historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History announced the second week of February to be Negro History Week. I'm going to refer as Negro History Week as NH Week from here on out. They chose this week because it coincided with Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass' birthdays, February 12th and February 14th, both which Black communities celebrated together since the late 19th century. The reasons of the birth of NH Week were recognition and importance, to recognize the Black history and to emphasize how important Black history was on society. When NH Week first launched, Woodson contended that the teaching of Black history was essential to ensure the physical and intellectual survival of the race within broader society. Meaning, he said, if a race has no history, it has no worthwhile tradition, it becomes a negligible factor in the thought of the world, and it stands in danger of being exterminated. He also goes on, the American Indian left no continuous record. He did not appreciate the value of tradition. And where is he today? No, but that's kind of, you get the whole gist of why he contended the teaching of Black history. because, like I said, if a race has no history, it has no worthwhile tradition, it'll be soon become extinct or exterminated. So that's one of the biggest reasons why he pushed towards the Black history and making it essential. Black history was first proposed by Black educators and the Black United students at Kent State University in February 1969. The first celebration of Black history took place at Kent State University 1 year later, from January 2nd, 1970 to February 28th, 1970. In 1976, Black history was celebrated all across the country in educational institutions, centers of Black culture, and community centers. President Gerald Ford recognized Black History Month during the U.S. bicentennial. He urged Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. In 1987, Black History Month was first celebrated in the UK and London. It was recognized by Ghanaian analyst, forgive me if I butcher the name, Akiba Adi Sibo. In 1995, after a motion by politician Jean Augustine, Canada's House of Commons officially recognized February as Black History Month and honored Black Canadians. Forgive me for that. But it's a lot of reading. So, as you see, Black history came a long way. And as years progressed, as times progressed, each, I want to say state, not state necessarily state, but country, picked up on the Black history and utilized it and emphasized it within their own society. The United Kingdom, like I said, started in 1987. Canada was 1995. And the Republic of Ireland started in 2010. Damn, really 10 years ago. And that's when they really just started, really initiated it. But I'm going to give y'all a brief break, and I'm going to come back with y'all with some more information on the origin of Black History Month. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. If you like what I'm discussing right now, review the episode, like the episode, write a comment, or on any social media. I know we all have social media. So add us at Sana'i Podcast on any social media platform, as well as you can email us at sana'ipodcast@gmail.com. Give y'all a brief break, and I'll be right back with y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. There's often an annual debate about the continued usefulness and fairness of a designated month dedicated to the history of one race. One concern is that it would discredit the accuracy of history, as well as exclude crucial parts and distract children from what really matters when they enter their desired careers. Me personally, I think the education of Black history won't discredit children when they define their career desires, because it may motivate or inspire them to make their own I'm referring to African American children, where it really uplifts them and inspires them and motivates them to be a part of history, create their own history within the Black history, as well as children from other races when they hear different history within their cultures, and it'll inspire some to really create their own, like I said, create their own history, leave their own impact and mark on history versus discrediting the accuracy of the history. As far as the first one, the annual debate, the usefulness and fairness of the month, I think is very useful as well as fair as well to the African Americans, to us. So I think it's a great idea to keep the Black History Month going, as well as integrate it within the educational system so more people are educated on the Black history. Going through my notes, people also criticize whether it was appropriate to confine the celebration of Black history into 1 month, as opposed to integration of Black history into the mainstream education for the rest of the year. I think it should be both, personally. Have that, February Black History Month, but as well as integrate Black history within the educational system for the rest of the year. Make that one of the topics of discussion, like the history of what African Americans created during the late 19th centuries. So I think it's a great idea to integrate it through the rest of the school year as well as keeping the month. One of the original inspirations for Black History Month was a desire to redress the manner in which American schools failed to represent Black historical figures as anything other than slaves or colonial subjects. I'm just reflecting back to when I was in school learning about the Black history. And that's only two things, Black history we learn about Harriet Tubman, or in school, we learn about Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King. And they really never touched bases on Jackie Robinson, Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou, Rosa Parks. We discussed Rosa Parks for sure, and Muhammad Ali, his whole legacy and what he did for that African American history. So I think it should be a subject within the educational system of just Black history. Here's some of the prominent figures of Black history, and I'll have episodes on them as well, giving more details about them and their whole journey. As we all know, Martin Luther King Jr. One fact I found out about him is "I Have a Dream" speech is the most Googled speech ever, which is kind of interesting. Me personally, I don't know it word for word, but we all know "I Have a Dream." The "I Have a Dream" iconic speech. A few other prominent figures that I'll be discussing on future shows: Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou, George Washington Carver, Barack Obama. And here's some other prominent figures that made an impact on history: self-made millionaire Madam C.J. Walker, astronaut Mae C. Jemison, open heart surgeon Daniel Hale Williams, inventor Garrett Morgan, and we all know the media mogul Oprah Winfrey. And I would discuss him in the beginning of the show, the father of Black history, Carter G. Woodson. I think that's what Friday's episode will be about. Him and his how he lobbied extensively to establish Black History Month as a nationwide celebration versus just the U.S. celebration, because I believe it should be celebrated nationwide. So next show will be discussing Carter G. Woodson, as well as what I learned this week, French Fridays. I was going to have the Spanish Mondays, but I'm going to hold off for that and just really doing this episode, just educating on the Black history and the whole origin of Black history and how it came about. Appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Monday, man. Y'all already know. I feel like I've been talking all day, but I feel like it's been a great episode, educational episode on the origin and the history of Black History Month. But we're going to reflect and recap on what I discussed today. Discuss the quotes of the day. It's our attitude towards life that determines life's attitude towards us. What we give back what we put out. And that's deep. I think about that all the time. Don't make a habit out of choosing what feels good over what's actually good for you. Always choose what's actually good for you. Don't choose what feels good. What I learned from the Super Bowl: even when you're winning, never lose focus of the ultimate goal. Always stay down. Always stay persistent, and always have that visualization of what you want to accomplish, no matter the obstacle or hurdle. Even if you're up big, always stay focused and stay humble. When you're a champion at heart, you'll come back and overcome any deficit or obstacle. Keeping that burning desire, visualizing it, and feeling it, you can overcome anything. No matter if you're down 10, you can always down 10, down 21, you can always come back. Just have that faith and always have that power to uplift the people around you, the team around you, to overcome it. I discussed the origin of Black History Month, the reason behind Black History Month, as well as who lobbied for Black History Month, which was historian Carter G. Woodson. I'm going to be discussing more about him on the next show. And the reason why they chose February, like I said, it coincided with Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass' birthdays. which was February 12th and February 14th. The reason behind the birth of the NH Week, Negro History Week, was to give more recognition and the importance of what African Americans did up to 1926. And then more history was created after that. I discussed where it's celebrated. It's celebrated in the U.S., Canada in February. In October, it's celebrated in Ireland, the Netherlands, and the UK. It originated, and the first celebration of Black History Month took place at Kent State University in January 2nd, 1970 through February 28th, 1970. It was first recognized. President Gerald Ford recognized Black History Month during the U.S. bicentennial in 1976. In 1987, it was first celebrated in London, thanks to Ghanaian analyst Akiyeba Adi Sibo. In 1995, a motion by politician Jean Augustine gave the Canada's House of Commons, they officially recognized Black History Month and honored Black Canadians. They always have the annual debate is if Black History Month should be reoccurring or should they stop it. But like I said, me personally, I think it should keep on going, as well as integrating it within the educational systems. But man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. What a show. Monday, we just getting started. Whole new month, whole new goals, whole new vision for this month. I hope y'all had have a great day and really just utilize the show. Share the show, like the show, share with a friend. Let me know if you have any comments, review, or any knowledge you want to share with me or share on the show. Like I said, add us at Sanai Podcast on any social media platform or email at sanai@gmail.com. I greatly appreciate y'all tuning in. Have a great week. I'll be back with y'all on Friday. And we out, like I said, Friday, coming back with the French Fridays and a whole lot to discuss. XO out, Sanai out. Have a great week.